We're coming up on the 10-year anniversary of one of the funniest and strangest events I can recall in Scrabble. In 2014, Hasbro, the trademark owners of Scrabble in North America, announced a March Madness-style bracket contest called the Scrabble Word Showdown to add a new word to the Scrabble dictionary by popular vote. With Merriam-Webster's help, Hasbro picked 16 fan submissions from the comments of its original post and pitted them against each other in a head-to-head bracket. There were thousands of submissions, and as with any democratic process, things got messy fast. My favorite highlights include Daniel Vorozilchak's full and unmoderated dedication to his favorite word, Sandra Plurd's unique suggestion of nipple dick, Ziad Hanif and friends voting for his own name, a strategy others attempted as well, the bizarre suggestion of Dunger as a somehow obvious addition, the surprisingly appropriate suggestion of Nigelic, and so many more. Still, there were some clear trends. The runaway submission was by far Zen, with a legion of nominators, many of whom were stunned that it wasn't already a valid Scrabble word. Not far behind was the two-letter word ew, a surprising exclusion given all the other interjections that are acceptable. There was even a strong contingent of Zen ew Unity ticket supporters. Many commenters didn't care whether the winner was an actual word and focused on gameplay instead, requesting a two-letter word containing a C or a V. It also seems that the world was not ready for twerking in 2014, with more people specifically campaigning against the booty-shaking dance corrupting the minds of our youth than actually submitting it. The prospect of easy publicity soon drew the attention of big brands as well. Cadillac's attempt didn't amount to much, but fellow Hasbro brand My Little Pony was disturbingly successful at promoting the complete nonsense word nervous-sighted, as a horde of bronies descended on the comment section, chanting it in unison.
Nervous-sighted! It's like you want to jump up and down and yell, yay me! But you also want to curl up in a teeny tiny ball and hide at the same time!
Morris the Cat from cat food brand 9 Lives was also surprisingly successful promoting Pawsome. Other fandoms got wind of the contest too. Big Bang Theory fans wanted Bazinga, some early adopters of Bitcoin stopped by, but by far the strongest group were Simpsons fans recommending Quijibo. Oddly, it seemed to shock them that any words other than Quijibo would warrant consideration at all. In this same vein, there were a decent number of submissions for Geocache, the increasingly popular outdoor hide-and-seek game using GPS coordinates. That was enough for it to make the initial bracket of 16 as a dark horse, but Zen and Ew were the obvious favorites based on early submission volume. Several other words were chosen despite being submitted only once, like Luckbox, Phablet, Emo Typo, and Lifehack. Notable snubs rejected by Merriam included all of the brand-suggested names, as well as Quijibo. On to the opening round, where the obscure Luckbox was the victim of nobody knowing what it was and a significant number of voters accidentally voting for Lunchbox instead. Phablet also dispatched Emo Typo easily in a battle of obscure words inspiring minimal enthusiasm. Zen absolutely dominated gamer slang Woot with little resistance, and while the Bestie versus Adorbs matchup was entirely too cutesy for many voters, it was Bestie making it through to the next round. On the other side of the bracket, Hangry defeated Nowish, Ew crushed Retweet, and Cosplay edged out Lifehack. In the fourth matchup, Geocache was up against Bitcoin, and shockingly, this seemingly nondescript battle generated by far the most votes of any round 1 matchup. That's because the geocaching community had gotten wind of their inclusion in the bracket, and spurred on by various online forums and the geocaching Facebook and Twitter feeds, they showed up in force and completely dominated Bitcoin as a result. In the quarterfinals, Booyah took down Phablet, while Zen absolutely hammered Bestie in its inevitable march to the finals. Fellow favorite Ew similarly crushed Hangry, and next up was Geocache versus Cosplay. One commenter aptly described the truly impossible choice voters faced in this matchup, but backed by its formidable get-out-the-vote operation, Geocache quickly leapt out to a huge lead and never looked back. Some tournament Scrabble players were concerned about the growing power of Geocache, but most remained confident that either Ew or Zen would find a way to win. The semifinal matchup between Zen and Booyah was indeed pointless craps, as one commentator alleged, with Zen seemingly garnering 10 or more votes to every one for Booyah. But on the other side, a titanic battle was brewing between Geocache and Ew. It would be tough to pick two more different Scrabble words than these. As a two-letter word, Ew was poised to become a huge boon to Scrabble players. On the other hand, as an 8-letter word with 2 C's, a G, and an H, Geocache is almost completely useless in the actual game of Scrabble. Playing it as a bingo would be exceedingly rare, and even playing it as an extension to Ache or Cache is highly unlikely. In fact, in a series of 10 million AI games using a lexicon containing both words, Geocache was played once in roughly every 33,000 games, whereas Ew was played in every 4.5 games. When voting started, Scrabble players came out in force for Ew, even giving their most spirited defenses of why Ew was the clear choice. But these pleas fell on deaf ears as the geocachers voted en masse, gradually pulling away and scoring a stunning upset win. Still, there was no way Geocache could beat the prohibitive favorite of Zen in the finals, right? This was a very similar matchup. Zen wouldn't be quite as useful as Ew, but as a rare 3-letter word with a Z, it would still be tremendously useful, appearing once in every 41 games, again compared to Geocache's 33,000. And now that the geocaching community's true strength had been revealed, surely Scrabble could answer the call to support Zen in this matchup. Well, actually, keep in mind that the competitive Scrabble world wasn't fully united behind either Ew or Zen in these matchups. Many tournament Scrabble players actually voted for Geocache over both, or abstained entirely for a variety of reasons, including the belief that Zen was a proper noun and therefore shouldn't be a Scrabble word, not wanting to introduce such a game-changing new word at the National Championship only a few months away, or philosophical objections to the entire process of adding words to the dictionary in this way. In any case, Geocache started even faster in the finals than it did in the previous round and scored a comfortable blowout win, once again dashing the hopes of competitive Scrabble players. In the aftermath, many Scrabblers had sour grapes about the contest. Even a few members of the geocaching community had second thoughts, realizing they might have gone too far in denying Scrabble players their fun. But hey, at least Twerk didn't win. A few days later, Hasbro's Facebook feed poured more salt in the wound, asking for commenters to share their favorite 2-letter word and urging them to try a new one today. Needless to say, tournament Scrabble players were not amused. As for me, I think the whole thing was hilarious. I love seeing contests get pranked or hijacked in creative ways. Much respect to the geocaching community for showing so much passion and organization, and getting some free publicity from Good Morning America in the process. And ultimately, Zen and Ew both made their way into the Scrabble dictionary just a couple years later in the next big update. So it's all water under the bridge. What do you think? Would you want to see a contest like this happen again, or is it an abomination that should never be revisited? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching.